How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So we had a decent sized snowstorm last night. Definitely not fun. I have started to just hate the snow more and more. Snow is only good for one thing, and that would be snow donuts. And I would say that those get old very quickly, but the problem is the streets get cleaned the next day. So it's only fun for like 2 hours when it snows, but then days like yesterday, there's way too much snow falling to even have any fun. But I guess there's bigger complaints in the world, so I'm not gonna complain that much. But I wanna talk about how impressive the Bronco is in the snow. Because yesterday I drove the Bronco when it was snowing like a decent amount, pretty heavily. And then I even stepped into an F-150, and the Bronco really just doesn't care. Like, I always talk about this thing being a tank, but yesterday I was going like speed limits, like 65 miles per hour when everyone was going like 50, and I didn't feel unsafe at all. Like, I knew it's gonna be good off-road and whatnot, but I stepped into this and then an F-150, and then driving the F-150 just felt like I was driving a little car. I feel like that kind of goes without being said, you know, that this thing's going to be killer off-road or on snow, but I did not expect it to be that good on that much of a level. I can't wait to get this thing off-road properly. I was about to say it's quite warm outside, but it's 27 degrees, and yes, I haven't peeled the plastic off. But I guess with the sun being out, you really don't feel it. So I talked about adding mud flaps to this thing, and this is the reason why. It kicks up all into there, and if you can see, just that is from the tire just kicking up a bunch of stuff onto the car. Imagine being behind this thing and look at how much stuff the tires just kick up. It's absolutely insane. This thing just continuously keeps throwing stuff and dumping it onto the side of the vehicle because there's nothing stopping it from doing so. I feel so bad for the paint. Just look at how disgusting all the salt and grime is. Need to get some type of coating on this car, or truck I should say, ASAP. So hopefully in the springtime we'll get some type of PPF or ceramic coating, something for going off-road onto this thing super fast. I just find it so funny coming over to the side and seeing how much stuff the tires kick up. It's just from that little bit of space right there where they kick up so much stuff. The more days that go by with this truck, the more and more that I enjoy it. But it's been a while since we've checked on the other vehicles, so I think that would be an appropriate thing to do. Go home, check on the Miata, check on the Mustang. Actually hasn't been started in a couple days either, and the BMW, which didn't start the other day at all. I was going to demonstrate how well the Bronco did in slight slush and snow, but as you guys can see, the entire roads are just clear now because the sun just came down and has cleared everything. I was hoping that I could do some drifts on some back roads, but everything is just clean. So that kind of sucks. But if you're debating on what the best vehicle for the snow is, hands down the best thing I've driven in the snow is this Bronco. And I pointed this out on how trucks do better in the snow, clearly do better in the snow, but I had some people say, no, but my little car does better than any truck could ever do. Well, no. It's just simply not the case, okay? I don't know what you're on if you think that like something like a Toyota Corolla is gonna do better than this thing in the snow, but I was driving the Lexus yesterday after jumping out of the truck, and that thing felt like it was on ice skates. Given I did have a little bit of fun drifting it around in the snow last night, and I didn't record any because I didn't have a camera on me, but doing some fat donuts in the Lexus is always fun. Doing donuts with that car is much easier than doing donuts in a truck, or the Bronco would be, clearly because it's just a little tiny car. There's not much mass to be thrown around. When the Bronco sits so high, there's so much like mass to get this thing around, because if you've never seen a Bronco in person and you've never seen a Sasquatch Bronco in person, these things are huge. But we need to add some modification to the Bronco ASAP, get a couple of things that I want to take care of done very soon. We have our first mod actually already on the way for this thing, which will be pretty cool, and it's actually a pretty big mod. Now, okay, it's not huge, but it'll definitely make a little bit of a difference. This is my first real off-roader slash truck that I've ever had, so I'm definitely learning a lot of things as it goes. When you're driving a car on the track, there's definitely a lot of technical aspects that go into it, but there's just as many technical aspects, if not more, in off-roading in terms of like rear diff ratios and tire sizes and suspension and how much travel you have and articulation you have and all of these different things. And With this, I'm slowly starting to learn some of those things, so it's definitely a new experience, and I can't wait to start actually modifying the vehicle, but I just want to modify it the right way, which I've said for all my cars. I always want to modify the cars the right way and never put cheap parts or parts that I know I'm going to replace in a certain amount of time, because why not just buy the part that I would replace it with in the first place, which I want to do with the Bronco. I want to do bumpers, front and rear, since I didn't get my bumper from factory because it was on back order. So I want a metal front bumper with a skid plate. I want a winch on it, possibly some lights, and then from there add some off-road performance elements. But the Lexus is also absolutely filthy. The Mustang's actually quite clean, and I say clean with that being clean, but you compare it to the other cars, yeah, it's definitely clean. Seems like winter's a never-ending story, and it feels like these cars have been parked here for so long. I just want to drive these two cars again and ride some of the bikes again. But it's been a while since we stepped into the garage with the Miata. Definitely something that needs to change ASAP. There's two things I need for the door cards left before I can fully rebuild them. In this last week, I've been definitely put a lot off schedule just because of a lot of things have kind of changed from what they were before. Not in a good way, not in a bad way, but just it's a little different. I kind of just got thrown off this last week. So can't wait to get some of the interior put back together. One of my goals by the end of February is to have the interior ready to go, basically. So I guess the biggest things are getting these door cards back in, ordering a steering wheel, and deleting that airbag and putting a more race-inspired steering wheel in it, I guess, and getting some bucket seats that hook up to the factory mountings there, and then possibly after that, just a couple more things to finish touching it up. But really those three things are things I want to accomplish, so I think it's definitely doable by the end of this month. The BMW needs rear tires, like, very badly, and I've been saying this for a while. Like, I've been saying this for probably over a year now, but we're gonna get them replaced coming into the spring. The Miata also needs tires for its aftermarket wheels, so I'll probably order them together and get them put on together. That way it's just kind of doing the same thing at the same time. Kind of just a very relaxing day as far as the morning and afternoon went. Got a bunch of stuff to do tonight, so I wouldn't have been able to make a video. I actually have a modification coming for the Mustang, which I haven't talked about. It's an interior modification, if you know what I'm saying, that I've wanted to do for a very long time. I think you guys understand what I mean. For the people who don't, you'll just have to wait and see. I've had the part ordered for a little bit now, and hopefully I should receive it beginning of next month. Today just a relaxing video, but tomorrow is actually going to be a pretty exciting video because we're going to go check out the Chicago Auto Show. I think I'm going to see a Z06 for the very first time, along with the GR Corolla and a couple other cool cars, so be a pretty interesting day, along with a surprise multi-million-dollar car that I really want to check out. But that's all I got for this video. If you did enjoy, leave me a like, subscribe to the channel as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.